Yo, 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 you already know, man. It's your boy, Hype Fan Eagle, representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey, man. Shout out to all my first-time viewers. Shout out to all my last-time viewers, man. Shout out to the people that's viewing my video, whether religiously or in passing. You already know, man. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. And on my Twitter, all my Twitter people, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And all my people that's on YouTube, subscribe to my Twitter at Hype Eagle 1. You already know, man. We about to get into a live recap of what happened tonight, man. But before we start, please, man, shout out to all my hype fans out there. And merch is on the way. You already know, man. For future references, though, me and my boy, Young Jers, we about to start this little duo thing. So if y'all see him posting on my, on my page, it is not just my page. It is us as hype fans. You know what I mean? That's Hype Fan Jers. This your boy Hype Fan Eagle, and we're gonna be alternating videos. So sometimes you might see him, sometimes you might see me. You know what I mean? Or sometimes you might see both of us doing a video. With that being said, let's get into a full recap real quick, man. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. And I said this early on when I first started doing the videos. When I said, yo, if we're gonna split between anybody in the division, it's gonna be the Cowboys. I always felt like that. I don't feel like we could ever be just 2-0 against the Cowboys because they always give us a good fight. So I don't know if you want to start off. You know what I mean? We don't have to do like a full game recap right now. We could just take it step by step. So how do you feel about Gardner Minshew tonight? Let me know.
Nah, Gardner Minshew, I felt like he did good for a backup. He
Yeah.
did real good. He did real good. He left some plays out on the field, and I know that also probably comes with not having a lot of snaps play time, and so you got to get used to it because playing in practice and then playing in real games is two different things. Because when that time is moving fast, you got to make that quick thinking, and pressure is hitting from different teams.
Yeah.
It's totally different. So I know that was the part of it too. But yeah, I feel like he's good for us to keep our backup because he didn't lose this game for us,
Yeah.
but he helped somewhat. But it was mainly on our defense that didn't give him a chance as being his first game coming in and
Mhm.
trying to get something going. And they kind of failed them, so but I feel like he's good, and I want him to stay. I feel like he solidifies his contract. I would like to see him stay as our backup just in case anything happen. But we still need Jalen Hurts in front because he give more of a dynamic, more of a athletic and playmaker than Minshew,
Mhm.
offers.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Gardner Minshew, I'm not gonna say he was in the middle. He was like below the middle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With that being said, I understand why he was in a below middle because this is first game actually starting for real. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the rapport still had to be there with the wide receivers, even though both wide receivers had over 100 yards. I feel like he missed a couple of key plays.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you know, as we talked about it before, the run that he had when he had like 3 or 4 yards, I'm thinking that was in like the second quarter or something like that. If that
yeah.
was Jalen Hurts, he would have got at least to the 1 yard line, or he would have
Right,
scored that touchdown.
exactly. Yeah,
It was a couple of missed throws, and just watching him scramble, I knew like if that was Jalen Hurts in that position to scramble, we would have got
yeah,
positive yards.
yeah,
But you gotta give him a shout out, man, because he tried hard. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
played hard.
yeah,
He threw 2 picks, 2 costly interceptions, but it
yeah,
wasn't only on him. We're gonna get to the rest of the team and everything like that.
yeah, yeah,
But you gotta give it up to him. You know what I mean? Could he play better? Of course he could have played better.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it wasn't just solely on him. You know what I mean? So How do you feel? How do you feel like with the position that we were in to actually win the game? How like what you think actually was the momentum swinger of the Dallas Cowboys winning that game? Like what we could have done better? You know what I mean? First of all, before I get to that, where did we go wrong at in this game? Period.
Um, it's it's hard to really fathom what we went wrong because the offense was clicking. It was just those key little turnovers that would just messes us up, like the turnovers that was causing us to set us back.
Yeah.
We would be good, and then next either interception or fumble. Um, but we were still in the game. So
Hmm.
I think from the rip after that sweat interception on defense, after that, the defense didn't show up. Like, and I just think that's was the whole. That's when we went wrong. I think from the rip, that's when it was all started. It was just like, the defense. It was it was a lot of the secondary, the back, the
Yes.
front fours,
Yes.
the
Hmm.
front
Hmm.
fours, they did decent. They didn't wasn't like how they usually do, but they got some pressure on deck. They got in on key times and everything, but the secondary definitely didn't collab with it. And
Yeah.
those linebackers, I wish off season we could draft a more of a playmaker linebacker that could actually could get up and down the field, like that could come down, but if he see that he got to go back up, he could go back up, and defend those because CD Lamb was eating those and those slants and those cut ends, like you
Yo,
know,
it was so bad. It was like, all right, so like you said, after the Josh Sweat interception or whatever like that, we got pressure on Dak, but when we got pressure on Dak, we made costly mistakes like that 3rd and 13. I mean that
yeah,
third
yeah,
and 30. You feel what I'm saying? And then there was one time when Maddox had Dak, and Dak still completed that pass.
the
And
pass, yeah,
couldn't bring him down. So the secondary was fried. I mean, this is Darius Slay's second week getting cooked. He got cooked last week
yeah,
when we played the Chicago Bears and he got scored on. This time he
yeah.
got scored on again, and he was frustrated on the sideline. So I feel
But
like
that I mean, no, I'm sorry, but that
Mhm.
play that you're talking about, yeah, that was David Slay was over there, but Scott, he was back, and he's supposed to have really defend back. Like that Hilton shouldn't have passed him.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to defend that back to give your corners that up from in the back, because sometimes
yeah,
that happens when the corners got to come up and defend. A lot of people say that, being that Slay is a vet and know that he have a backup safety coming in, he should have known that and gave that help and not be. But sometimes you expect that safety back then you got that help, but Scott got
but
beat too.
I get that, but as a veteran, that you don't have your top defender back there. We got Maddox
Yeah,
out, we got CJ
yeah,
Garner out, and we got
yeah,
a rookie and Reed
yeah.
Blankenship and Joshua Scott, who so you have to be on your toes when it comes to
So yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean. So he got cooked, man. It is what it is. James Bradbury got cooked in the end. Yo, CD Lamb was cooking, and then towards the end, like mid third quarter, fourth quarter, their tight end was cooking in the middle of the field. Dak was
yeah,
just on the money. So you gotta give Dak Prescott all like I was telling people on Twitter. There's no excuses. We lost. I don't, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't really want to hear no what if Jalen Hurts was in, because it was when we went to the game where they didn't have Dak and we end up beating them.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, so you got to give credit to the Dallas Cowboys, man. And we fought. You know what I mean? We
yeah,
fought. Um, but I feel like next topic. I feel like we could have won that game though. It was plenty of times where we could have won
yeah,
that,
yeah,
especially offensively. Boston Scott with a fumble. Miles Sanders with a fumble. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Two crucial
Crucial.
game
Yeah,
winning. You know what I mean? So With that being said, who do you give the majority of the blame to if you were to give somebody blame? On it could either be the offensive side, defensive side. It could be the coaching staff. Like who do you give the blame to? You know what I mean?
I give the blame to mostly on the defense. And it's collective. You could say slaves and some of the players, um, but also the defensive coordinator, because I saw a lot of plays of the defense. I mean, sometimes you do have to blitz and you
Yeah,
do gotta put that pressure. You gotta rush him, but I saw a lot of times he was doing that a little bit too much, because now you open holes and windows for, because if you blitzing in, those quick passes and don't pass it out. If you see that your secondary is not holding out and is not defended, you giving those time for those in those slants routes and those 5 yards cut in routes. Like, you giving those quick passes off. You're giving that opportunity that could get those off and move the
yeah,
chains and make it. I think he should have played more of a zone man-to-man type of game, to defend, because that would have put more of a, you know, that would have been able to run like that, because you blitzing in, he rolling out, he gonna be able to get out, like, and then
mm-hmm.
find a defender. If you contain dealing with some of those man and zone reads, you containing,
Yeah,
he don't have nowhere to run because the corners is right there. Then
mm-hmm.
the flat is defended. So I think it was more of a pass defender, and I think he was probably trying to play the. I think the defense was trying to play the run a little bit more because of Pollard and Zeke, and I
And Zeke,
understand.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
under,
yeah,
I understand that, but you can't go away with the pass. Like, he should have tested that with the pass. Okay, they get a little bit of runoff, but soon they gonna pass. You know, you gotta
yeah,
know, because that those interception, he should have tested him. But I
yeah,
don't think he tested them. I think they played the run instead of playing the pass, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I don't know if I really want to blame Jonathan Gannon because, like I
Yeah,
said, Jordan Davis went out. Vontae Maddox went out. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
understand that. Yeah,
We don't have like I'm not going like our secondary isn't all the way there. We're missing C.J. Gardner. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like I don't know, man. And let's say if you do play the pass now, they're gonna run on us. Because there's a couple of runs that they got off. Now we contained that, but it was like a give take type of thing with the defense. Like, if you play the pass, then they're gonna run on us. But if you give up the
yeah,
run, then that gonna do what he was doing all night, was throwing the CD Lamb and getting into his tight end and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it was
yeah,
pretty hard. I feel like we could have won that game, man. It was just a lot of mistakes offensively. Like, it wasn't a defense. Like, our defense, it was just a no-show. You know what I mean? With the
yeah,
exception of the
yeah,
Josh Sweat interception, our defense was a no-show. I feel like offensively, it was just too many mistakes. It was times when Gardner Minshew was overthrowing the ball. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, especially
yeah,
the ball in
yeah.
Dallas Goedert, like that shit was way up there, and Dallas Goedert had to go up and get it and shit.
Well,
Like,
yep.
yeah,
I
so
say that in the comment. Yep,
yeah, yup. So
yep,
it was too many of those overthrowing the ball. It was too many just him. The two picks that he threw was directly to the linebackers. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yep,
yo, the boy was Quez Watkins was covered. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
both times. So it was just too many mistakes, man. Miles Sanders just doing too much in the backfield, coughed up the ball. Boston
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
coughed up. So I felt like it was just too much. But
I, I,
I really it got to be the secondary who I give the blame to. The secondary,
yeah.
sure.
I agree with everything you say, but I'm gonna debate you a little bit on the one other thing dealing with the playing the passing. No, I get exactly what you're saying. They would have played the passing with a run, but I think it would have been more of a chance of them playing the pass and stopping the run at the same time than them playing a run and try to stop the pass. Because
Mm-hmm.
um how the secondary and how the linebackers was doing in the corners too a little bit was doing, they wasn't really, they didn't have that game. Like,
Yeah,
so if you trying to play the run, you're leaving the corners and everything to actually no help to actually D and pick up these zones and everything. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
like if you play the pass and if they running, okay, they get like a couple yards because sometimes certain I is that like sometimes you play Madden certain plays you pick. I know it's different, but I'm just using an example. Sometimes certain like zones and certain pass plays protect the certain run because sometimes blitzing in could cause certain run to get a 15-yard run because you blitzing in this way and they run it the other way, or they
Yeah,
you come in from the side. The opening it sometimes certain blitz creates holes,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
so in certain coverage play protect certain run plays,
Mm-hmm.
because the defense is still there. The mans they drop back a little bit, but they still protecting that hole. You run at the hole, they come up, they tackle you. Like,
Yeah.
but they still protecting that pass. So I feel like that if they would have played the pass a little bit more and kept a idea out on the run, it would have been a different game instead of blitzing and trying to come in. And I think it just felt like they was playing the run a little bit too much that was causing them to get a lot of those big passes off.
I could
Like,
see that. I could definitely, yeah. I know. I could definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Right now we still hold the number one seed. You know, well, we still got the potential to get the number one seed
I
and
want
get.
to say, yeah, yeah,
We would have to go to the Saints, beat the Saints, and then we'll have to. You know, all we need is one win for real. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if we should uh 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 let Jalen Hurts play next week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We should rush him back for real. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Being the fact that all we need is one win. Um, it ain't like a need to rush him back. Like, let him heal, and then like if we sit him next week, but then we have him play just one half during the Giants week, that'd be good. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Just to give that shoulder rest going into, because you don't want to play him next week and he not 100%
yeah,
or close
yeah,
to 100%, and then he re-aggravate that shoulder. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it ain't really a need. I feel like Gardner Minshew could go in and beat the Saints for real. You know what I mean? I feel
yeah,
like that can actually happen, and then boom, have Jalen Hurts play just the whole half. You know what I mean, with the Giants game, and then get prepared. You know what I mean? Get prepared for the playoffs like that. So I feel like Gardner Minshew going in. I feel like if he play the Saints game, he'll have more chemistry with the wide receivers and everything like that, because
yeah, yeah,
he'll at least have one whole game up under his belt, which is the loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, he'll have one
yeah.
game up under his belt, go into the Saints game, beat them, and then Jalen Hurts could play a whole half during the Giants game, and then that'd be good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that because I think Gardner Minshew probably would be way more better on the next game. Just the fact that now that out of off after this game, it give you sometimes you need to see what you need to warm up with. You
Yeah.
know, he never been in the this is first game starting, so he never wasn't sure. Okay, what I need to warm up or what I need to know with rust I need to brush off.
Mm-hmm.
What I need to get back. He had to find that zone again, what he needs to work on. So I feel like now he takes from this game and see, okay, what can he do better? How I'll find his flow. Okay, I can flow. I like her because don't get me wrong, he was flowing a little bit going to that second half. It seemed like he
Yeah.
found some of a rhythm, but it was still mixed with some bad little throws and all that. But it
Mm-hmm.
found like he was because the first half he was I was like, what he was what was going on with him. But
Yeah.
then the second half he started doing way more better. Going down the field, he was checking it down. I was like, yes, check it down, check it down. He was moving the chains. We
Yeah.
got to the red zone, we scored. So it sounded like he found something. Whatever he found at the second half and everything. I want him to utilize that, and I feel like he would. So in the Saints game, I don't think you can't take no team for granted, but I think that would be a good game that he should be able
He
to win.
should, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yep. And put on a better performance than he
yeah,
did
yeah,
with the Dallas game. The Dallas
yeah,
game wasn't a good. wasn't him to actually get his rocks off. I feel like if he really wanted to get his rocks off, he'd have to go to a team like the Saints, which is no put because it's any given Sunday still. But the
Yeah,
odds of us actually winning that game is way higher. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
um shit, man. We looking forward to the Saints next week, man. I mean, I'm not really mad at this loss for real. Like, you know what I mean? It,
yeah,
it is what it is. Like I said, I knew we was going to split. You know what I mean? It's the Dallas Cowboys. You know, like
yeah,
if we would have lost to the Giants, I would have been like, yo, for real. You know what I mean? Like if we would have lost to
yeah,
any other team besides, I would have like for real, but it's the Cowboys. They always give us a
yeah,
tough. So you got to give kudos to them, man. I ain't got no complaints, man. They came out, they did their thing, man. I'm just surprised at the secondary. Like I'm surprised at the secondary for real. Like
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was
I,
something else to say, but
I'm not upset at this game. Only thing is, I'm upset. Which you can't worry about what people think and everything, but it kind of irks me that now that I'm seeing a lot of people trying to discard Hurts MVP now. Just the fact that they feel like okay now anybody could fit the whistling because of we still put up points with Gardner Minshew and not knowing like it would have been a totally different ball game. Like,
yeah.
it would
No,
have been
yeah,
a
yeah.
totally
That's a fact.
would have
That's a
been a totally
fact.
different ball game. Just the fact that you know a lot of those interceptions, if he threw it because he felt like he didn't have that was his only choice to read. And if he was a mobile quarterback like Hurts, would have never took that chance. Would have just ran for like at least 4 or 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of
Mm-hmm.
throwing an interception, I'm gonna rush it for 4 or 5 yards, move the chain. You know, make sure he's not that mobile quarterback. He don't think about okay, let me rush it because he know he's not really he don't have that footwork. So he
Yeah.
try to make something happen by forcing it into a tight Quez Watkins and these receivers. And when it's not there, like, but if it was Hurts, he would have never. He knew he got foot. Hurts, no,
Yeah.
listen, I
Yeah.
got legs. I don't need to force this. I'm gonna just boom. I'm gonna run it, and those
Yeah.
interceptions would have never happened. Like and I feel like it would have been a different ball game. The run game would have been way more better because now
Way more
they got to
better.
worry about Hurst and they
Yeah.
got to worry about Sanders. So
Yeah.
it would have been a really different. So to outshine his MVP because our backup came in when he put up scores. They don't have nothing to do of how it happens. How
Yeah. Yeah.
accurate Jalen been accurate. He been throwing balls. He been balling. So please don't try to take his MVP just because you see that and all that because that's what a lot of people. I know you don't worry about people fans, but it just irks me people start doing that. No, he's been good, solid all
All
season.
year, man. And
Yeah,
I've been
so
saying that. I said that on Twitter. I said, yo, this game showed you this game. Listen, I said, yo, we lost. Give credit to the Dallas Cowboys, but this game should have showed you why Jalen Hurts is who he is right now.
yeah,
Because when you look at it, the athleticism and all of that, like just
yeah,
put all of that into play with Jalen Hurts. What we could
yeah.
have done with his athleticism, what we could have done with the zone read. It
John
was
Reed,
plenty of
yeah.
times with Gardner Minshew could have took it, but he did.
Then
And I'm
exactly.
like, yo, if that was Jalen Hurts on that on those plays, Jalen Hurts would have at least, like you said,
Yeah,
4 or 5 yards or something like that.
yeah,
He would
yeah.
have opened up the offense a little more because Jalen
More,
Hurts is more of a dynamic of
damn
a
it.
quarterback than Gardner
Yeah,
Minshew. So I said the same thing. I'm like, yo, it would have been a different outcome, and I believe that we would have. Listen, it still would have been a high scoring game because our defense wasn't
yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah. It still would have been. Yeah, yeah,
but I feel like we would have won at least by 7 points. Like how they won by 7, 34-40. I feel like
yeah,
the roles would have been switched. I feel like we would have won 40-34. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I feel like we
yeah,
would have won by 7. So yeah, man, they can't discredit Jalen Hurts, man. I don't want to hear none of that system quarterback. I feel like if Jalen
yeah.
Hurts was in that game, I feel like we would have at least won by 7. But we're not gonna do the what ifs and everything. It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is what it is. Yes,
Listen,
definitely.
y'all who watching Cowboys fans, this is hypothetical because this would have been a real scenario if Jalen Hurts was in. So we're not just saying that, yo, we not taking the loss from y'all. You know what I mean? Like y'all won fair and square. We just saying if Jalen Hurts was in a position like Gardner Minshew, we would have got more out of the quarterback
Yeah,
position with Jalen Hurts than guard. You know,
exactly.
that's just facts right there. That's
That
facts.
just they gotta understand that, man. But you know, a lot of times it be like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And before we get up out of here, man, shout out to Miles. I mean, not Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith. He got 1K, you know what I mean, receiving yards. AJ Brown got 1K plus receiving yards. We got 2,000-yard wide receivers, and that's just a testament to Jalen Hurts, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
um, we will be back up here, man. He probably do his own recap. You know what I mean? Probably tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, Monday. I'm gonna do my
yeah.
own recap, and then we'll be back up with y'all before the Chicago game for sure. We'll give we'll give a game plan, you know, because
You mean the
we gotta get
Saints?
it. Yeah. I mean the Saints. Yeah. The Saints. Yeah, we gotta get an update on, a weekly update of how Jalen Hurts says. So we gotta get more news into that. You know what I mean? But we will be up here though. I'm gonna give another recap. He probably give another recap, but this is how it's gonna be from here on out. You know what I mean? This your boy Hype Fan Eagle representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. That's my boy Young Jers, aka Hype Fan Jers. You already know, man. Gang, gang.